Hey there, and welcome to Young Not Dumb, a podcast for young adults who desire to lead by example and walk in truth. Here, we dive into your real questions and offer honest, practical answers rooted in God's Word. Our goal is to help you navigate life with confidence so that you can step into the purpose that God has for you.
Introducing from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 5'10",
Yeah, almost.
200 pounds.
Yeah.
Ryan Austin.
We were just talking how I hope that when I get to heaven, that'll be like Ryan coming in. Beep, 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 beep. Like, yeah, we made it. Yeah.
Clapping
If you know Ryan,
We made
that
it.
is Ryan's like signature deal. You hear it all the time with Ryan.
Or if you're in church and you hear that from another room, it was me. It was me. Oh, one time, I never told you this. One time you were preaching and I connected my phone to that TV over there. And I'm like, I wonder if it would work through the TV. And it worked. And it was really loud.
Oh,
and it
my
was great.
goodness.
That's awesome.
It was-
Hopefully the timing was
It was a
good.
great Sunday morning. Yeah, when people said amen, I was like, beep, 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 beep.
This right here has been a request for some time, though. I've had so many people tell me we need to get more Ryan
Oh my goodness.
on the show.
Yes.
And so that we'll see if their opinion changes after
Get
this.
ready to be disappointed.
But Michael is sick.
Yeah. If you
So
don't know,
so, yeah.
Tired?
Michael is sick, so we have a wonderful fill-in, Ryan.
And he's not been sick for the last 3 weeks.
No, yeah, we just batch record. So
Yeah.
our one day of like 3-4 episodes, we've got lots of great help.
Yep.
But here's the thing. We are almost a year into this podcast.
That's right.
I know. That's
That's
Isn't
surprising.
that not wild?
It
Like,
is,
that
yeah.
actually feels like, what? We just started. But the numbers prove that we're almost like, 50 episodes in. We have to be close
Yeah.
for it to be a year.
That's right.
That's right.
But if you didn't know, Ryan is the OG
Yep.
BTS guy. He is the original behind the scenes man,
Yep.
back helping with sound and stuff. So
Yep, absolutely.
whether you've heard him or not, he's been here. He's the one that honestly keeps this podcast afloat.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
blessing.
Because then he does the
100%.
editing, he does the posting, he does most of the work on this podcast.
No, honestly.
Yeah, like a lot of
100%
work.
the truth.
Yeah, like
it
a lot
would-
more than what we do.
No, for real. Would
Yeah.
not be here without him. So
Yep.
it's good to have you in the front seat.
Thank
Yeah.
In the hot
He
seat.
gets
It's good to be here.
his glory day in the sun.
Yes, I've been waiting almost a year. Finally.
Yeah.
Well, good. So today we're talking about home for the holidays.
Yeah, just about past Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
up on
By the time
Christmas.
this comes out, it'll be past Thanksgiving.
Yep.
It's Thanksgiving week as we're recording
Yep.
this and stuff. But yeah, it's like there's so much to this topic. It's almost like been challenging for us to like narrow it down and figure out what we're going to talk about because there's an endless amount of reasons why going home can be hard. I mean, even one that we really didn't talk about that I'm just thinking about now is like people that have lost a loved one.
Oh, yeah.
Like
right.
people that are going home and celebrating their first holidays without the people they wish were there.
That's right.
Like,
Yeah, way to start dark. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
for real, like that is
No, it is real. Yeah.
that's hard and sad. And yeah, there's people that I think about around Christmas time from the year past where I'm like, you should go reach out to people. Like if you know somebody that's like passed away or like lost someone in their family, just pause the episode and think about them.
Yeah, and I think it's maybe on that topic, maybe it's a good time to even think about people who don't like Christmas
do you
and
mean?
Thanksgiving because of things like they're just not big Christmas people. And maybe some of it has to do with bad memories and experiences around the holidays or a loved one being gone. But, I'm like a total Christmas dude. I think probably we all are, but there's some people that aren't, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. So we're talking about the holidays. It's really about any time you have to get together with your family. But
Yeah. What would be like your encouragement for people though? Like if they are the person that's like, I'm just honestly not excited for Christmas. Like
I think you can be okay with that. Like I think sometimes I know that we've made Christmas a Christian holiday, but it's not like something that was ever celebrated in the Bible. Honestly, it's just it's just an American tradition. So you can be a great Christian without loving Christmas, and I think that might be a hard. I think you almost could feel like you're some kind of like evil person if you don't love Christmas, but you can like not care about Christmas at all, and it's totally fine.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. Yeah.
I want to add into that. My mom my mom goes to church with my dad in Sioux Falls, and they have a Ruth ministry of the widows of the church, and they do the holidays together. And, nothing is forced, obviously, but hey, for Thanksgiving, here's where we'll meet. Here's the time, if you can make it. And it's about a dozen widow and widowers from the church. And then for Christmas, they do a similar thing. And I would encourage, if you're in that boat, I would encourage someone to reach out to someone. If you're a widow, reach out to another widow. Or if you're, our son or daughter is going to be with their other in-laws. So now what are we going to do? Well, let's make sure that this widow or widower has somewhere to go for Christmas, somewhere to go for Thanksgiving, wherever, wherever it is.
It could be a roommate,
That's
just
right.
another kid at school or
Right.
something like that. Like, ask your family. I'm sure they would be like, yeah, bring them on. And
That's right. Don't assume that, I'd be intruding. Don't assume that. We want to be a blessing to you.
Yeah.
And
100%.
and,
That's one of my favorite books is, I think it's the title is The Gospel Comes with a House Key. And it's like so encouraging for people that do have homes and stuff. It's like, how much can you like share the gospel with people just by being like, yeah, dude, bring whoever, like, yeah, bring all the people, the more, the merrier.
Yeah.
Like the more we can share, especially if you have a wonderful house where you do love going home, bring people.
Sure. Yeah. Use it for the Lord.
Yeah, for sure. So there's just like a couple topics I feel like different reasons that it can be hard for like going home for the holidays. So a couple that I just figured we could highlight and just kind of talk through like encouraging them, or maybe like a different outlook and like perspective switch and what we can do for that, instead of like that's kind of the order I'm kind of thinking of for today and stuff. But so the first one I was thinking about, especially for like our young adults and stuff, going home after like being away at college and stuff, like throughout the semester, they're coming home maybe for the first time. Some of them, sometimes people go home often, but sometimes it's like your first experience back after having like that autonomy of like being on your own and stuff, and getting to decide when you want to come home, or like, all the things of like, I don't answer to anybody. I don't have to tell anybody where I'm going. And it can be hard. So I'm also thinking about how if they're coming home and like visiting high school friends, or just having those first experiences back home after college. I was just talking to a girl. We had like a Friendsgiving, and she was like, I revert back to my old self. Like I notice when I go home to be with my family, I act like I'm 14 and like have this attitude that I'm like, I don't have that anymore. Like, why am I acting like that? It's because I'm going back into this environment where that's who I was when I was here. So like, why am I acting like that? But all that to say, what is it about? Like, why does that happen? Like, why do you have those triggers of like going back to something, going going home, trigger old habits? Yeah. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Can you relate with that at all? Or like,
yeah, I mean, I think of a story from Michael, and then I'll let Ryan go. But he had just mentioned, you had read it like it was going to be in his notes and stuff. But he'd mentioned like when he gets around his brother, he acts like a 13-year-old again, and it drives Hannah crazy or whatever. Yeah. I mean, but I don't know what is it about going back home that you may get drawn into that, or whatever triggers or something, Ryan?
Yeah, I think it's old patterns. I think it's what we've always known, or, well, this is how I fit in. I'm the funny one, but really obnoxious too. So that's who I am. That's who I have to be. So here I go. And then somebody else might be, well, I'm the quiet one. I have to continue to be quiet. And I think it's habit. And I think we don't really know how else to act.
Well, what's how do you work through that? Like, if you already know, like, well, when I'm going home, like my old habits die hard, what's the encouragement for them there?
Be conscious of it. Or be conscious. Conscious.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. And conscious.
Just know about it, and be, I guess, self-aware. I guess be self-aware about it, and I think that'll help a lot. For me, I need to be self-aware to let other people talk, and for me to be a good listener. And I don't need to be the loud and obnoxious one. I'm talking about myself, unless my sister is in the same room, because only she can beat me in that. But I need to be conscious about that. About let other people talk, let other people have their time in the light, I guess.
Yeah, I think Proverbs 4:23 says, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." And so I think to keeping or guarding your heart is kind of what Ryan, I feel like, is referring to, because I feel like the expectations of like maybe you're where you're at, and what I'm imagining at this point is somebody who is maybe they're at college, or maybe they've moved away and they're trying to live a Christian life. They're, in these groups in their church, and they're growing and they're learning the Bible and whatever. Then you come home and then you fall into these old habits or whatever. I think sometimes of expectations of like kind of what Ryan said, it's like, well, this is who you are. So you feel like you have to fill that role, kind of the old you or whatever. I think it could be easy to maybe fall into some of that.
Yeah, that's true. And something that you were saying with like listening, like being a good listener, I thought that was really like interesting. That sparked in my mind. That's something that I need to do better at. And like, that would be a good way to like, share the light of Christ, or like, just be a light unto others with, just like caring about other people. Like, I feel like at family functions, it's so easy to just like talk to your cousins, or like talk to whoever your little group of people are, that like you get together with and stuff. But it's nice to be listened to. Everyone loves to be able to talk about themselves and be listened to. So sometimes like that's a goal for me, where I'm like, I feel like I just dominated the whole conversation. Like, I feel like all I did was tell them about myself, but like, how can I like show interest in other people and like care about them and be loving towards them?
I've got that same main character energy. Is that what it's called? Right? Like
Jesse has main character energy.
I totally do. I know I do. But I'm intentional in the same way. It's just like, oh, Jesse, let me tell you how I am. But it's just like, I'm good, Mackenzie. Tell me about what's been going on in your life. Like, I have to be really intentional. And to me, that intentionality, and even the missional aspect, and that can be a challenge, especially. Even like Jesus even said, because when he went to get back to preach in his own country and among his own people, they did not receive him. His own family, like his brothers, didn't believe on him until after the resurrection.
So if anybody understands how you're feeling.
He knew he was despised and rejected, and quite literally he was rejected by his own family.
That's right.
He went back to his own town, and then Jesus said that a prophet's not without honor save in his own country, which is to say that everywhere else people think that you're cool, but you go back home and people are just like, dude, I remember you, you're not all that, or I remember you're this guy. And so you want to go in with a missional attitude, like, you know what, I want to make a difference. I want to be a light for Christ. But again, we may know that, but then the question's how. It's like, but as soon as I start not being acting the way I used to, it's like, come on, man, who do you think you are? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that church is really messing you up, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, was this really just leads into the next scenario that I'm talking about or thinking about, was just people that are Christians and they're going home into a home where not everyone else is, right? Or maybe also just like recently saved. I can think of a friend who she was discouraged going back home because she was like, her mom was like, well, like that's great that you have this new faith and stuff, but like just give it a couple years. You know? And like, or like, well, like
maybe keep it to yourself even.
Yeah. And that, like, that's really hard, right? It's like, so, I guess like what would your encouragement be to people? Like, what's the mindset shift, or what should you be thinking, if anything, going back home? I feel like Ryan has something to say.
I got this.
Yes, you do.
Please. Actions. Speak louder than words. And man, I love, one of my favorite books is the book of James in the Bible. Read the book of James. It's kind of short, and James is the brother of Jesus, or half brother, if I could say, half brother of Jesus. It's like, man, this guy grew up with Jesus, and he said, like, a lot of the book is how you have faith. Oh, well, you talk about it. Well, let me see it. Let me see your faith by how you act.
That's so good.
And And that's what I would say of like, well, I'm scared to go home to get into an argument with my family because my family grew up this religion and I'm not that religion anymore. So now what am I going to do? And it's like
politics.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? Let me serve. And this is what I was going to say to the previous question. I want to find the person sitting alone in the room and give them an ear. Tell me what's new. How are your kids? Grandma, who's sitting alone on the recliner. Grandma, tell me about when you were a kid. What was it like? You know, give that person an ear to and just listen to them.
Yeah.
But
just make them feel loved and appreciated. And special.
That's
you care.
You know, because you want to go in and maybe you feel obligated to preach or take some big political position.
Yeah.
Maybe
You don't.
It's like, you know what?
And it's like, oh, I just started going to this new church. I just started reading the Bible. I don't know all the answers to all the hard questions. And what am I going to do? And it's like that statement, like, kill them with kindness, but kill them with good action. And you don't need to know all the answers. You don't need to know. So you think you're all smart now, and now that you're a Christian and you're better than me. Let me serve you. You know, let me serve you. Let me be there for you. Let me just listen. That's what I would say is even kind of don't even worry about talking a talk, but action will show up 5 times bigger than your talk will.
It's funny because that did just remind me real quick. It's something we've talked about at some point previously, but I have felt this pressure being around family before of the idea that they think that I'm better than them, you know, and whether it's just me coming along, but then I start bringing my kids around and there's a certain way we're trying to live.
Well, and
you think you're so much better.
In most families, or I'm thinking a lot of families just don't have any religion at all. Like they're just living super worldly. And that looks really different when you start saying no to things. And
it's like, no, we're not going to be around that. Kids, we're not watching that, whatever. People like, you know, but here's the temptation, and going back to like the trigger stuff and guarding your heart, keeping your heart without diligence. But like, it's tempting to like, I'm going to prove to you that I don't think I'm better than you. I'm going to prove to you, you know what, I'm just going to say some things I shouldn't say. I'm going to just to prove to you that I don't think I'm better than you, you know, but do not do that. Like, you don't need to do that because you never said you thought you were better. You don't think you're better, hopefully, because you're not. So.
But the light casts out darkness, right? Or exposes sin.
Yes.
And it does it. Like when you're...
And salt irritates sometimes.
Yes, And so it exposes people's sin. And when they're exposed, it feels uncomfortable. And sometimes the only thing they know how to do is just somehow shut it down. Like make you feel bad about being quote unquote better than them, which we're not, right?
No, but that's their insecurity, not anything that we're actually doing.
If anybody does say that to you, I would just be like, no, man, like I struggle with sin just as much as anybody else, but I found the Savior, right?
Amen.
Like, if they really just went all out on you and were like, you think you're better than us, then I think I don't know. Do you open the can of worms? Like, do you argue? Do you?
I don't.
No.
Yeah, it's like I'll try to have a conversation, and I encourage you to have a conversation, but if you sense it going in that direction, just be just like, you know what, we ought to get together. You know, it's good seeing you. I'm glad we're seeing you on Christmas, but boy, maybe we could get together another time and talk about this more. You know, like I'm not gonna get into all this.
So like if somebody asked, like, should I go home and like share the gospel, like share my new faith, you would say. I would
say, I mean, the not vague. What's the word I'm looking for? That would be yes. But at the same time, maybe it could depend on your family about how much you want to share. And maybe you're just going because, you know, even though you're missional, it's like, hey, I'm coming because I love my family.
Yeah.
I want to see my family saved. And I know they need to hear the gospel in order to be saved. But you know what? They've already heard probably anyway. So I'm going to come and I'm going to let my actions speak. And if the opportunity presents itself, you know, maybe I'll just say something about, well, hey guys, I had something really great happen to me. You know, talking about Christmas, because one thing cool about Christmas is that a lot of times people are a little bit more open to talking about Jesus.
Sure.
You know, so sometimes it could be just like, wow, it's really cool that I found the meaning of Christmas, or, you know, you can try to find ways, but don't like, I don't know. It's like our church, one of our church, values is loving people where they are. And you got to do that with your family too. It's like, because it can almost present like I'm going to share the gospel with you. And if you don't agree with that, then I'm just going to...
Then I'm not going to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm just going to argue with you till you believe. And it's like, no, you know what? You're my family. You're a close friend. You're a cousin. Well, I'm going to love you. I'm going to care about you. I mean, that's right. You're valuable just like you are. Mm-hmm. So you know what? I mean, I'm interested in your life. I'm interested in who you are.
Yeah, that's good. And were you going to say something?
Yeah, I can jump in there real quick. While you're talking about loving people where they are, there's a passage in 1 Corinthians chapter 9 where Paul is talking about really making himself whatever he has to so that he can talk to people about the Lord specifically in that context. And he says that he says, I am made all things to all men, that by all means... Hold on, let me read it again. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. Ooh, there's a lot of alls in there. But he's making himself all things to all men. Really, that just is that he is meeting people where they are. Yeah, and he's having that conversation. But specifically, he does not compromise his biblical belief. He never compromised his Christianity, if you will, for the sake of reaching someone.
That's right.
And so when we're talking about reaching our family, we want to love them, we want to reach them, and talk to them where they're at. Just meet them where they are and be able to relate to them in any way that we can. But in the relation, never compromise our biblical position as Christians.
Yeah, that's good.
Still obeying God, but being able to be a witness in any way that we can.
Yeah, that's a good distinction.
Man.
Yeah, that's so good. So another scenario here, what about the type of places you're going home to where maybe you're questioning, like, should I set boundaries? Should I even go home? Like, is this a good place to be? So like, what about the type of person that would maybe ask the question, like, when is it healthy to set boundaries? Like, as I'm going home, like, do I need to, what does that look like? I'm thinking about it's like our target audience, is like our college kids. What about kids that just have, like really overbearing parents or, kids that have really hard home lives where like, man, you just know people that are like, they're going home for the holidays and the cops are showing up or food is thrown or, just like crazy stuff like that. Yeah.
And maybe it is a thing of just like, okay, I'm going home, but I'm going to draw some boundaries. And as soon as as soon as she starts hitting that line or whatever, every year Mom does it or Uncle Joe does it and things get out of hand, at that point, that's where I'm just like, yep, okay, cool, I'm out or whatever. Maybe I'm just thinking of an example of that, but maybe there are boundaries of, I can remember it's kind of funny looking back on my, it's hard to say like my biological dad's side of things. But we went back for a Thanksgiving, and went to like that side of the family. And it was just so funny because it was like literally backwoods, dirt yard under all these trees down in South Carolina, just totally redneckville. You pull up and like, it's just classic rock blaring. There's a turkey smoking out on the smoker or whatever, but everybody's just around drinking. And literally it's just a party with turkey. You know what I'm saying? But it was me and Melanie, and like Hannah and Caitlin would have been small, I think. And so, we went, but it's like we set a boundary where we weren't staying long.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's just like, we love y'all. We're not judging. I'm not preaching anybody. But you know what? In about an hour from now, things are going to start getting a little bit wild. And so that's going to be about the time that we're leaving. Yeah. Before it gets there, maybe.
To that, I would say make a plan.
Yeah.
Make a plan. Have an escape plan, or escape is maybe an extreme word, but have a plan of if things go south. Here's my plan. If this happens, here's where I can stay the night. If it's not at my parents' house, and then I texted them warning them, hey, I might have to come over to your house instead of my parents' house, and like kind of have a plan, and then have a plan of when you're coming back to school or back to where
Would you communicate that to your parents?
No, because my parents would talk me out of it.
Yeah.
So then, because that's a boundary of like, here's my boundary. When things go south, I have a plan. And when the weekend comes, because for me, the party really starts either on a Friday night or a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Is when the party gets hot. So for me, I'm leaving Friday afternoon and going back,
sure,
and whatever. So no, I wouldn't communicate that plan necessarily, but yeah, I'm just like, all right, well, hey, it was great to see y'all, and I'm gonna head out. Love you guys.
Yeah,
that's kind of like, I'm not
just
asking
gracefully.
I think here's the thing. What I'm saying, I'm not asking you if I can leave.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
it was great to see you guys. I love you guys. I'm heading out. Wait. I'm not asking if I can leave. I'm before things get turned upside down, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah.
Do you feel like boundaries are kind of selfish though?
No.
I mean, maybe they can be, like if you're overly crazy. What do you think?
No.
You just say no, period? Yeah, I mean, I think so too. Like, I think no.
Are they biblical?
Well, I mean, again, sorry, I've only got the one verse, but keep your heart with all diligence. But I'm thinking about you're guarding your heart, and you just know that, like, you know what, this is not a situation for me. It's not healthy for me as a Christian. This is going to I might lose my temper here. I might say something I shouldn't say. You know what? I think it's just best for me to do this. So yeah, I mean, I think boundaries are.
I think you could bring up the proverb: "He that walketh with wise men shall be wise; the companion of fools will be destroyed." Especially in the friends aspect. I mean, we're leaning a lot of family, but definitely if you're talking about hanging out with friends and things
because
like
you
that,
see friends when you come back.
You see friends when you come home, and if you're influenced wrong, then absolutely having boundaries and things like that are good and wise. Just even if there's not a verse that says you should have a boundary when you go visit your family, doesn't mean that the Bible doesn't speak of having a boundary of some level. And so I don't think at all that anything that what we've been talking about is selfish. But you really are in charge of yourself and your own spiritual growth. And so I think it's wise for you to want to guard that and guard your heart in that. So
I think I may have something to add to that, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not going against it or anything. But as we were having this conversation, I was just thinking about, like, one of the regrets that I had. Well, see, so like even before I ever got saved, I wasn't home very much. I was always with my friends. I would stay the night at friends' houses as much as possible. And it wasn't that I had a bad home situation. I just enjoyed being around my friends. I mean, it wasn't like I was scared of anything going home, but just enjoyed being with my friends. And I was partying a lot, so I couldn't party as much at home. Anyway, I got saved, and now obviously that changed. But then, rather than going home, then I was around my Christian friends as much as possible, around church stuff. And it's almost like I didn't think of it as drawing boundaries, but it was like I wanted to do stuff with the church, which is great. I wanted to, but like it even got to the point to where I know my family they even took a couple vacations after that to where I like opted out of.
During the holidays?
No, never during the holidays, but just in general.
Sure.
And again, there wasn't nothing bad. There wouldn't have been no reason. There wasn't like, well, no, because I know on vacation. Like, no, it's just that, no, I'd rather be around my Christian friends and my church family.
And you kind of regret that?
Oh, I regret it big time because, so I don't know if that's in the boundary conversation, because it wasn't necessarily me trying to draw boundaries. It was just me feeling like I was going to grow spiritually, and I had this new Christian family that church family that I loved, and I definitely regretted it not building, because the way we reach our family is the same way we reach anybody, and that's by building relationships, and it's harder with family, but rebuilding relationships sometimes in that. But anyway, but it's something that I would encourage you to, like, say you've got like a messed up family, a heathen family, pagan family, whatever, like don't like totally separate yourself from them. Like love them as much as you can and show your love for them and be around them as much as you can, even if there are some boundaries to where like, okay, I know I can't be around them this much, but you know what? I still love my family and I want to be around them and I care about them.
That's
yeah,
right.
no, that's really good. And that's such an encouragement for sure. So then my last question here is like, how do you prepare before going home? Like if that's your case scenario and you're like, okay, I don't want to regret like not going home. How do you prepare well before you go home?
Keep the habits that you've made and keep them going, assuming they're good habits. But if you have the habit every morning, I read my Bible at this time, at this place or whatever, keep that habit going. Keep the habit of prayer going.
Yeah.
And then I would say accountability too. It's good to have somebody that you trust or a Christian friend, a Christian leader, a youth pastor or the pastor. Text them like, hey, going home is difficult. Will you just check in on me? And I'll text you and I'll tell you here's what's going on. I was really tempted to get into mom and dad's liquor cabinet, but I didn't.
Or go hang out with my old friend.
I got invited to this house party with my old high school friends, and I really want to go. Will you just help me and keep me grounded a little bit? So I would say those three things.
Yeah,
keep in the word, keep in prayer, and have somebody to be accountable to.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I would say too.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's great. Yeah. And I think maybe like and anticipate.
Good job, Brian.
Anticipate like conversation struggles. Like imagine how they'll play out. Even I mean, that sounds like a silly thing, but
is that worrying though?
No, I don't. Not the way I'm talking about it. I do that.
Be
like
prepared.
All the time. Yeah, just be prepared.
It's a preparedness.
Yeah, it's like so. In other words, you're just like, okay, so at this point, I'm determined to leave. That's my boundary, and I know Mom's going to say,
"Yep."
But then I'm going to say,
she's going to make me feel guilty.
If this happens, I'm going to be prepared.
That's
Mom's going to say this, but I've got to stand strong and say, Mom, love you. But you know what? I'm going over to Ryan's.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm going over to Ryan's. We're going to watch a game or something.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, I think that's a good way to like end the episode really is just thinking about, okay, well, yeah, what does it look like to prepare well beforehand going into the holiday season and stuff? And hopefully like, even though the holidays are hard, like there is encouragement, right? Like we're celebrating the Lord. Like, it's like, even if everything else amongst you is like chaos, like you can still think about like the reason for the season.
That's right.
Like, hey, this is something worth celebrating, and whatever that looks like is we're celebrating it.
Go to a local Christmas service, Christmas Eve service. Go to a local service.
6 o'clock.
That'd be great. 6 o'clock, Elk Point, South Dakota. Be there or be square.
Yeah, really. Or with your other family, whatever.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I think that's good, guys. Do we have anything else you want to add?
I think we're good.
Okay. Sweet. Good job, Ryan.
Ryan. Good job.
I'm done.
That's
right. That's right.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for tuning in to Young Not Dumb. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. And we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on social media or send us your thoughts or questions to our website, youngnotdumbpodcast.com. And hey, if you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend or leave us a review. Until next time, stay young but not dumb, and we'll see you soon.